Okay guys, welcome back to Real Chalk. I'm Jamie.
I'm Sam.
And we've got our head of media.
That's me. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
One job, Connor.
I nearly always miss the head of media part as well. After he says his name, I'm like, it's my turn again.
you could have missed me there and I wouldn't have realised. So, but thank you for the intro. What's on the agenda for today?
So, seeing that the Open is coming up this week,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the Open announcements and what we think of them in the past and if they're coming back. Some predictions maybe for the Open. We should also say it's not too late to sign up to our Open prep camp, because all of the stuff up until now has been recorded. So if you want to sign on, check out either of our Instagrams or the Chapter 2 Instagram.
Yeah, and head on Instagram. Yeah. This is kind of, now we're getting to the main phase of the prep camp. First 2 weeks are there just to bring you up to the Open, but now it's really time to break down the workouts. This is where you're going to get your key pointers. So yeah, if you want to get a good score in the Open, jump in, get involved.
Absolutely.
And to mention, it's not just for elite athletes as well, right?
Yes, for anyone.
I can try and do it and compete in the Open, yeah?
Everyone except you, Connor.
Oh. But for all levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. From bodyweight to scale to RX, we're going to have tips for everything. And this is going to be the most kind of variety ever in an Open. So we'll be trying to give everyone different ideas to get better at the times and just to push against your friends and have a bit of fun with it as well.
Exactly. Spot on. And then
Sweet.
we might touch on some stuff about the semi-finals because they announced locations and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Let's hit the timer.
10 seconds of awkward silence.
Yeah, let's hit that 10-second countdown.
And I was only thinking, I was downstairs, I think you can set them just to like a 3-second countdown.
No, I can't. Too late now, man.
Yeah,
we're too many episodes in.
And we are in. You know when you do a competition and where was it? I'm trying to think where it was. Anyway, when they go stand by, so it's like 30 seconds, and then it's stand by, and then it's either go or they do the 3, 2, 1. Yeah, not all competitions do the 10 seconds.
There's never a 10 second or 3, 2, 1.
No.
I think it's a stand by, and then just like a beep.
Yeah, it's a
and
go.
then off you go, and you don't know exactly when it's coming. With the 3, 2, 1, it's like, oh, I know exactly after 3 there's going to be 2, and then there's going to be 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And I get to go.
But even you're used to the 10 seconds of kind of like the nervous, like, okay, here we go, and you're thinking in your head, get ready.
Yeah.
But the standby, or when they're like 60 seconds. And
60 seconds, and then that 60 seconds, I think they just say 60 seconds to say something. Sometimes that 60 seconds is 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 5 minutes.
Yeah. But I've never seen a false start when they're like...
I was just about to ask that. Is there false starts?
I don't know if they pull people back or not, because even when the beep's about to go, like in a competition, you're almost leaning forward. Like that standby, you're like, get ready. And the second it beeps, you're gone. But yeah, I haven't seen a full start.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's
comment below, if you've seen a false start and we've just forgotten all about them.
Well, they pull you back to restart the event, but they really don't like doing that because
they're on a tight schedule. They want to get through the teams and both divisions and then whatever else they have going on and streams and stuff.
Fair.
They don't want to ruin the streams.
In CrossFit New England, your man Ben Bergeron, when I was there for even like just a chilled class, like there was like a ladies class pretty much all the time. There was like a ladies class, but anyway, he'd always be like stand by, and I always thought it was like a full army thing or something, you know.
Stand by.
If we said that here, though, people would think they're going to war. I think.
Yeah. People would look at you funny too, going,
it might work.
I'm just working out.
Yeah. I think you're able to bring it to another level when you're over there, but if you tried any of that stuff over here, people
there's
would just
definitely
be like,
cultural difference.
I'm leaving this gym.
Yeah.
Yes, these guys are nuts. So let's talk about some of the Open's coming up this week.
Yeah.
And I think in years past, definitely one of the best things was the Open announcements, seeing some of the top dogs do the workout, so you can get a bit of an idea of how you're going to do or what to aim for anyway.
Yeah.
So there's, for the last few years of the sanctional stuff, there's never like an Open announcement with Dave Castro. So he never appeared with weird hair or whatever he does and announced the workout. It was always left to the sanctional directors. So do you miss the old Open announcements between the top dogs, or what did you think of the kind of sanctional ones where it's maybe not as well-known athletes doing this?
Yeah, I much prefer, like, I know there's a big part of CrossFit and the community and that type of thing, but I think the Open announcement is always a great time to see the best athletes in the world, whether you're trying to judge yourself off them or you just want to watch some athletes throw down, like, you know, because I know if I watch like a Rocky movie before, I'll be like, okay, I'll be getting into it, it'll pump you up. So it's that same thing. You want to see these guys who are going to hit the best scores in the world, because then you can be like, okay, that's the level that's how I want to attack the workout, whether you're going to get that score or not. So yeah, no, I definitely miss the old school Dave Castro one when you have that epic battle between Froning and Fraser. That was pretty damn
that
cool.
was very cool, and it was so neck and neck, and
Yeah.
there was so much beef.
Who did Fraser win that?
I think Froning edged him out.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I think
Froning won it.
Did
Yeah.
he?
I think Fraser then repeated like the workout a few days later,
Yeah.
sort of thing, and maybe got a bit extra or something.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Do you
I
think
can't
do you
remember.
think it helps like watching them to like actually from like a tactical point of view to like know how you're going to break down the sets, or is it more just kind of like, oh, that's fun to
I
watch?
think it's sometimes yes, sometimes no. I think it's good to see where people will break down on. Like if someone goes for big sets in toes to bar and it completely messes them up, maybe it'll give you then the idea to break the toes to bar such and such a way. Because some people, especially if there's a crowd, they have only had like 10-20 minutes to kind of think of the strategy for themselves, I guess. So their strategy might not be the best strategy to follow.
Yeah.
Because they had it sprung upon them. So, but it's good to see how they react to it, and if it messes them up in certain areas, and even afterwards when they're interviewed, they might say, well, I would do this differently, or that kind of stuff.
And even small things from if there's lifting in the workout, like, and say there's lifting and toes to bar, do I wear my lifting shoes, or like what do the guys do with that? Or if it goes from a workout to a 1 minute, I remember one year there was a 1 minute changeover. I think it was 1 minute changeover,
Yeah.
but and then you had to hit a max lift, a max clean.
Clean and jerk or
Yeah,
something,
what was that workout? Do you
So it was
remember?
like 9 minutes of toes to bar, loads toes to bar. It was like power snatches and deadlifts.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
you had
yeah,
a
yeah.
minute, so you had 9 minutes, and then on minute 10, so you had 9 minute AMRAP, 1 minute off, and you'd 5 minutes to do max clean and
Yeah.
jerk. I remember doing that one in the basement of my school.
Did you?
Yeah, and I did basically only discovered what grips were maybe about a year ago.
Okay.
But my hands exploded, like
No.
just all the toes bars, like boom, and then lifting, trying to do a max clean and jerk. I think my max clean and jerk was like 105. Like it wasn't.
Nice.
It's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
exactly. Yeah, and yeah, exact same for that workout. I had planned to do the workout in my normal shoes and then change into my lifters to hopefully get a couple more kilos, but my forearms were so blown up that I couldn't tie my laces. And I was like, 1 minute, that's loads of time to change your shoes. And I'm like panicking, like full claw hands trying to. But you know when you have a massive forearm pump, you can't use your hands.
Yeah,
like,
your dexterity is gone.
So everyone's like resting, shaking their arms out and stuff, and I'm just like trying to tie these laces, not getting anywhere. But
Man, you need Velcro with light up lifters, or you stamp your feet.
oh, the little light bubbles around them.
Yeah. So if you were to do an open announcement, who would be your ideal opponent?
So I think I'm going to take the one that you're probably going to say as well. But anyway, I'd go against Noah Olsen.
Yeah, you'd be pretty good to go against.
Yeah.
It'd be
I'd
cool
go-
to test yourself. Like.
Exactly. But for me, it's only because I think that as an athlete, I'm always look up to him as I think he's a class athlete, and a lot of the stuff that he does, I'd be good at, as in like handstand walks, he's very good, or he's very good on his hands in general for just upside down stuff, handstand push-ups, handstand walks. I find I'm good at that, and also the gymnastics stuff I can relate to what he's good at and what he's bad at. What about you?
Yeah, I would probably say Noah Olsen now. Now that you said that, I can't think of anyone else on the fly.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
So, but I remember we nearly did one against each other for the Filthy 150 one year. So the last year, the 2021,
Yeah.
in October, Filthy 150 were like, okay, we can fly you. If you're interested, we'll fly you to Boston, and you can do it, because Patrick Fellner and I think Annie Thorsdottir were going to go against each other, or
Yeah.
they were involved with Reebok or something. And like the open was going pretty well at that stage, so I was like, oh no, I don't want to risk it and spend it was like a few days notice before you'd have to fly to, I think it was in Boston.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it'd be a really cool opportunity, but like I don't want to I don't want to get sick on a plane, or like catch something, or just be jet lagged if I wanted to repeat the workout and that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
well, so last year was a really messy open as well, because there was one whole kind of mess up where there was someone who messed up their scores and kind of caused a big kind of just divot in the middle, where I don't know if he beat you in any of your workouts, but for me, he got like 2 or 3 seconds ahead of me in a couple of workouts. And at one stage, like, when you're better than an athlete or you're worse than an athlete. So the first thing was, I'm like obviously getting ready for the open. I think I'm in top shape, and then suddenly I get beaten by a couple of athletes. And if you beat me, I'm like, okay, cool, you and me are neck and neck. You beat me by a couple of seconds, whatever. I'll try to get you next week,
Yeah.
Same with PD and Mickey. But if someone else steps in that I haven't seen at all and I've beaten clearly in competitions, that kind of throws you a little bit, because now I'm getting beaten by all the top dogs and some randomer who I'm like, this is a joke, because it throws your confidence, So
Definitely.
when they said the open announcement to me, I was like, yeah, game on, I'm in. I've nothing to lose anymore.
Yeah.
But obviously, and I like, so this person, like, we won't say any names. I know he goes by El Raton. That's one name. But yeah, so that threw a bit of a spanner in the works for me in my open last year, just mentally.
Yeah, I think for everyone involved in the men's kind of top field, I think it just threw a spanner in the works for everyone.
Because there was
Putting everyone off.
Well, there was uncertainty as well, because there was all like Instagram groups and chat groups going on. People were like saying like, what's going to happen? Is this true? Is this false? So you didn't really know if, like, I didn't know if I was going to jump up a spot. I think at one stage it could have affected your points, was it? Where you were really close to PD to take to win and you weren't sure.
Yeah, it was all super messy. Like it was just, I don't know if like I can't remember now, but it's like, if you got rid of all the scores, would it have changed stuff? Or I can't really remember. But
yeah, exactly.
It was just, what was happening was there was unfathomable scores for the caliber of athlete he was.
Yeah, exactly.
And it ended up being kind of found out.
That's it.
You know.
But not only does it affect your scores, like from an outsider, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, well that just means you get one more point or one less point. But you know the mental game of going into one of your fights, if you're doing your kickboxing, or going into an open workout here. It completely changes how you're going to attack the workout or how confident you are. If you have an event win last week, you're so confident to smash this week. While if you suddenly come fourth, you're like, okay, I need to be really careful.
You're on a bit of a lull.
I can't blow up. I have to get a really good score this week. So
it's just momentum. The momentum swaps, and it was wrongfully changing the momentum, I guess, of the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. But
it would have been a cool experience.
It would have been an epic experience.
I would have,
definitely.
if I was to say now, knowing how everything went, hindsight's 2020, but I would have been like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know. But at the time, I was like, okay, it's neck and neck. I really want to just I just want to have the perfect scenarios so I can just finish the open strong. And it would have been a hard one because the last workout ended being the one where you could choose your own rep scheme.
That would have been crazy on the floor, like trying to.
Oh, you have 5 minutes.
Because you could both be doing completely different things.
Yeah.
So
you could really confuse your judge and just go off your plan and just
and the person beside you has no idea what you're doing, so you don't really ever know
when you're going to win, or like you could be miles ahead of me and I wouldn't know. I think I could be miles ahead because we're all on different reps, and each rep takes different lengths of time, like a calorie in the rower versus a wall ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a really cool though workout to throw into the open, because like that, everyone's coming up with different strategies. You don't really know how you should repeat. Like it changes one repeat to maybe even 2 or 3 repeats. If there's a lot on the line, you're like, I have to change this strategy. Like you basically change the workout, because when you change your rep scheme or the structure of it, it does change the workout completely.
Yeah, I did it 2 different ways. And the second one, I don't know why I did this way, but it ended with all of the rowing at the end. So I did 10 rounds of wall balls and muscle ups. Then I did all the rowing to finish, and I just had to send 80 calories. This is how bad it was. I fell off the rower. I couldn't speak or walk, and my mouth went white, like literally white. I had no saliva for about 2 hours.
No way.
It was really weird. I couldn't like absorb water, and then we're like, okay, the open's over, grand, we'll go get a Bunsen. And I just was at Bunsen like falling asleep, and I couldn't eat. It was because the worst part was I couldn't have a nice Bunsen.
Yeah, that is definitely the worst part. But in that type of training, when you're at you're at that stage, you're probably kind of not really feeling pain anymore, because it's the last workout. You've done everything to get to this stage. You're definitely like, I should have chosen a different strategy 100%. But all you have to do is row, so you can hurt. Like you can put yourself in that pain.
That's the thing about rowing, is you can't fail a rep on rowing. You just have to suffer and keep going till the number on the thing says you're done.
Exactly. And just putting that max power output on that. If you want a workout to hurt, because that type of training is like your lactate training, when you're like building your power or your max effort. So the other day I did a workout with Darley, one of the coaches here in the gym, and it was the one where we were just doing the 15 calories max effort, 8 sets. So
very painful. I've done similar things in the past.
Exactly. And it sounds so easy. So all we were doing is on the assault bike, 15 calories, absolute max effort, and then you have 3 minutes off. So it sounds easy because you're only going, like my first score I think was 14 seconds or something. So it's like 14 seconds work, 3 minutes off. That's easy. But the longer the rest, the more those legs start to kick in.
If it was like 1 minute rest, it wouldn't be as bad. Yeah. It's the longer the rest, the more sick you feel. Everything, your blood doesn't flush as well, or the lactate in your blood doesn't flush as well or something. Yeah. You just get worse and worse the longer you rest.
Yeah, exactly.
And Darley was here, he was dying, and he was like, I need to take like 10 minutes off. And we were all like, no. And then he took 10 minutes off, and he felt so bad.
It affects you even worse if you rest longer.
He went home as well after with like a hood up, and he's like, to you guys.
Yeah.
Like he was just battered. you know?
Exactly, and you know that feeling when you're like your legs are so pumped that kind of if you walk, every time you bend the knee, you feel like your
Might
legs
be your
gonna
last
buckle.
step.
Yeah, exactly. Like I went to come up to the office here, up the stairs, and I just finished the workout, been lying on the ground for like 20 minutes. I was like, okay, good to go. So I walked up, and the stairs kind of go up halfway, then they turn, and you're on a landing, then you go up the second half. So I got up half of them, and then I had to just sit down for another 15 minutes, like in the middle of the stairs. It's been like I can't make it up. But that type of training, like that lactate training, it teaches your legs to recover. So if you're doing something like a really big thruster workout, you know, when they go like the 27, then they drop 3 reps and they keep dropping the whole way down, and you might do it with rowing. That was one of the open workouts. It just allows those legs recover so you don't get that massive pump. It's like how fast your body can cycle out the lactate.
Flush it out. Yeah, exactly.
So if anyone wants that workout, just to give it a go, 15 calories as fast as possible, rest 3 minutes, 8 sets. See how fast you can go each one, and it has to be all out, max effort.
There's a certain cap on each. If you
go over 30 seconds for the 15 calories, you're out. The workout's done. So it has to
you're not
be
getting
raw
the
power.
stimulus.
Exactly, yeah.
Can that be this week's real chalk challenge then? The first?
if you have an assault bike, yeah,
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, okay.
100%.
true.
If you have an assault bike, that's this week's real chalk challenge.
Speaking of kind of workouts and stuff, do you have any predictions of stuff or workouts that could come up this year in the Open, or maybe predictions for past Open workouts that could be due a repeat?
Yeah, so I have no idea how they're going to approach with the new ownership of CrossFit, and obviously Dave Castro is programming again, but we don't know if Eric has any influence over that or how things might change, and they want to really make it like so everyone can do it. But if I could choose a workout, and I feel it should come up soon, is the chest to bar snatch one.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd love that workout.
We'd have a good battle on that
That'd be
too,
very
because
good.
we both have like heavy enough snatches in Europe standards. So
Yeah.
it'd be war until the last bar, and then see what happens on
The
the
last
final
bar.
bar.
So for anyone listening, it starts like 43 kilos. So it starts light for high reps, and the reps of the snatch goes down. And I think the reps of the snatch goes down, and the bar, but the weight goes up, and then the reps of the chest bar go up as well, I think.
Yeah,
And you have certain windows to get to the next stage.
and it's squat snatch the whole way through.
Yeah, you can't power snatch,
Yeah.
so it's a bit more skilled.
And yes, and you're allowed to bring your time with you. So if it's a 4-minute window and you finish in 2 minutes, you can go straight on to the next bar.
Yes.
So you have 6 minutes on that bar.
Yeah, I like those styles of workouts.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's cool though as well, because even though it gets heavy and you can kind of calm down at the end, the start is always like a real burner. Like it takes a skill, even if you're a really heavy lifter, it takes a skill just to get through the first piece, because you really need to push the pace and hurt and be good at gymnastics, say, to get through all the chest to bars and let those legs move on the light barbells. But then by the end, things can kind of slow down and you can enjoy the workout.
Exactly. Yeah. You kind of have to earn your heavy lifts.
Yeah.
You can't just be good at heavy lifting. You have to earn it, which I like that style of. You
Yeah.
have to be well rounded.
Exactly. No, that was definitely a real enjoyable workout. But then when you're repeating it, you know you have so far to go to get to the last
It's a
bar.
big, long
You want
walk,
it to be a one and done, and it takes huge recovery for it as well.
I'd say if that came up, say in the semi-finals, that would have to be a one and done. Because if in the same weekend you were snatching heavy twice, it could really affect you, or maybe the other workouts. I'd say that would have to be one you focus, get one and done, unless it goes.
Unless it goes really bad. Yeah,
don't
exactly.
get past 43
Yeah.
kilos.
And you need to look at your hands. You have to think of like, look after your
Oh,
hands.
my
Like
hands
if you
are
manage to get through it without tearing your hands, there's no way you want to do it again, just in case your hands explode. Like.
Exactly. So looking at the kind of beyond the Open, the new semi-final locations have been announced. So
Yeah, you're the broadcaster on this one. Where are they?
I'll be the news anchor for this. So they've released the two ones for Europe. So there's one in the Netherlands, so the Lowlands Throwdown,
Oh, cool.
which I've been to. So that's kind of
Class,
cool.
Yeah.
And then the German Throwdown, I think it's going to be in Berlin. So you've competed in the Netherlands before, haven't you?
Nope, I haven't done either of them.
Got
No.
the Amsterdam one? Not that exact competition.
Oh, sorry.
but you've
Yeah.
been
Yeah,
to
no,
that.
I did the Amsterdam Throwdown. It wasn't a sanctional or anything.
Yeah.
I think that was my first competition back after my whole shoulder saga. So I won that. So that was an epic. That was a really good.
Some come back.
Get going again. Yeah. Well, obviously a bit of training before it until I was ready, because I didn't want to step out and then, I don't know, come like 20th or something and then like be like he's nowhere. So I trained a lot for it. But then I won that. That was pretty cool. Amsterdam's class as well.
Yeah.
What was the lowlands like though? Because that was another level altogether.
Yeah, it was outside of it was in a place called Apeldoorn, I think. So it wasn't exactly Apeldoorn.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't near Amsterdam, but I thought it was the closest competition of all the sanctionals I've been to. That was the closest to regionals.
Okay.
Like the corrals, the the warm up area, the rig, the floor layout, the workout kind of style, just the kind of just everything about the organization behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It was all just very much like regionals, and the stream was really good. So to see them have it, and like when I was there wasn't much spectators. Like it wasn't massively packed, but I'd say now that it is one of the semi-finals, it'll pack. Like it had so much space. It was a big velodrome kind of place.
Oh, nice. That's class.
So,
who were the top athletes at that?
so the guy, there's some big names. The guy Thor who won the thing next year was there. But
Okay.
he was,
Is that the guy who won the Norwegian?
yeah, he was there.
Okay, yeah, he's strong.
Yeah, he's very strong, very strong.
Yeah.
Cedric Lapont, who was nearly won it. A guy called Ryan Souder won it.
Okay,
And Georgios Karavis.
nice. Yeah.
He was on the podium, and there was Jake Berman. There's big names there.
Fair.
But what's interesting now, like they were all, again, only one of the people I said there I think is from Europe. So it'd be interesting to see all the European athletes at the one location.
Yeah.
They're all from around the globe coming to the Netherlands. So now that's just Europe. It might be a bit more. I don't know what it'd be like actually.
Yeah, of course, because it is still though, or is it actually? It's more of a question. Is it like the sanctional setup still, where the owners of the event have a lot of kind of say in the programming, or are the both competitions in Europe going to do the same workouts?
I don't think they're doing the same workouts. I think they're given like guidelines. So you say there has to be a 10-minute workout, a long workout. This one has to be a sprint.
Yeah.
This one has to have this amount of movements. There'd be guidelines that they have to work around. So they're all similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
It is class though that there's just two events and they're what you're focusing on rather than, because I like when it's all or nothing, as in if there's a ton of sanctionals, even though it's a huge thing to qualify for a sanctional, if you mess up your qualifiers, you can be like, I'm just going to do another one, you know? It's pretty cool when you have to put it all on the line and you just have to go for it.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Do you get to pick which one you go to, or will you just be? Oh, there's time.
Boom.
Do you get to pick, or will you just be assigned?
I don't think it's been totally announced, but I think the better you qualify, or position wise, you'll have a say. Like you'll be seeding that way. You get to choose. First gets to choose. Second gets to choose. And
Yeah,
I think
sure,
by a
okay.
certain ranking, you'll probably just be given a spot because
Yeah. Okay.
it's either there's
Interesting.
space here or there's space there. I
Mhm.
think.
On competitions, quickly, have you seen Jacob Hepner entered the tactical games? Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. What did he do there?
So-
that with guns and stuff.
Yeah,
is it?
exactly. So it's, I don't even know if it's, because obviously like CrossFit is like in the military training, so I don't know if it's, I don't think it's a CrossFit event, but it's basically like a shooting event, but there's loads of exercises. So there's like sandbag carries and all sorts of things. And I haven't done my research. I saw it on his Instagram. Then I went onto the page, and it's a class. Like if you watch some of the videos from last year, you've got all these guys, and I think they get to kit themselves out. So you have to basically do exercises and shoot targets for time. But you've got all these guys running with like big machine gun rifles strapped to them. Then they've got like side guns, and they're carrying a sandbag. It's just absolutely mental.
Did Jacob Hepner win it or anything? Or
He's because he does all these workouts on his Instagram of him like doing a ski erg, and then he has in his barn, he has all these targets where he'll like ski and then shoot guns and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And it just looks absolutely mental, but I didn't know why he was doing it.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, now I've seen he's gone and entered it, so I'm not sure when it is or where it is. I just know he's finally put
I
it to
remember
use.
at the Rogue Invitational one year, they had the skiing and like pellet gun, or
Yeah.
was it a BB gun?
It was. Is it the laser gun that they use in the?
Yeah, it's like an
actual
it's like an
Winter
Olympic
Olympics?
event kind of thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
like
It's-
Quasar.
And then kind of, it's similar, except way more
Like
advanced.
Quasar, exactly like Quasar.
Yeah, we'll do our own version here up in
Yeah.
Leisureplex. Like,
Yeah.
We got to train for
Return
regionals. We're
to
going
the
Leisureplex.
Energizer.
Yes. The amount of times I've heard that, I'm like, where's the Energizer?
Yeah.
oh my god, didn't Jacob just finish building a new massive barn as well? Didn't he? Is it?
Yeah.
It was in that he was doing them.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
thing is massive.
Yeah,
It looks pretty
huge.
cool
Very
as well.
cool, yeah.
His whole setup and life over there
Yeah.
looks.
Well, they all are. Like
unbelievable.
Fraser's land that he bought is
Yeah.
like
Massive.
it's huge.
Frowning's
yeah.
barn as well.
Frowning's massive. Yeah.
You
There's
need to get a barn.
yeah.
barn.
We'll just move to Mayo and get a barn.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Few machine guns as well. Like, especially loose out there.
Nice one.
So, well, I think that's us for this week, guys. Again, thanks for listening.
And try and leave us a review. That would be pretty good.